Hey yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the All Pro JAFFOs, bringing you the highly elevated sports talk for the highly elevated sports fan. I'm your host JP.
Hey yo.
With me, as always, the best DJ in the entire fucking world, Mr. DJ Matchsticks.
Nobody tells DJ
What up?
to play.
And with us on this lovely Tuesday evening. Now for the New Jersey BIC. You guys knew him from Vegas before, but now he's back putting his talents on the East Coast with yet another win this week. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the show, Mr. Trey Robinson. What's going on, man? A long time no talk. Season's been going pretty strong. How you feeling so far?
Feeling good, healthy, happy.
Things going perfectly well out there.
Yep.
You contacted us a couple of weeks ago. Hey, Matt Six, wait, who's that? Is that feedback coming from me? Do y'all hear the feedback? Oh, I think that might be coming from Trey.
Yeah, I don't hear it no more. Yeah.
You got a hold of us last week, and we were trying to get you back on. And we appreciate the time of coming on today. Some things have been going on, obviously, in the league. Some good, some not so good. We were trying to figure out, and the other side of the ball, they all talked about it. The guys over in 3-on-1, they've talked about it. It's one thing that Big Rob actually said in the beginning of the season when we talked to him, something that he didn't want happening during this season, especially being the 10th. But the state of the league right now, it's getting better now. There's that little moment in time, but now we're going into it, week 5. It's already getting closer to playoff time. BIC's number 1 ranked so far in the league. How are things looking in your eyes? And getting this close to the playoffs, what's the mindset of yourself and the BIC?
Our mindset is every game is championship game. Like every game is win or go home. So that's how we're treating every game. You come into play. Just we're not really worried about nobody. The only team that can beat us is ourselves. So you gotta be on top of everything.
So you've been actually having a pretty significant role on the BIC this year, both on the defensive side and the offensive side of the ball. Being, what we like to call true Iron Man style football. From the West to the East, you're one of the only guys we can really talk to be able to kind of get the perspectives on how things look. But comparatively, East and West right now, even though, the Insomniacs are still on top in the West, everything's, kind of going the way we really expected it to go right now. But comparatively, what's the difference like in your eyes and your experience as well?
I would say that the speed of the game, the more physicality, the more so for the East. That's pretty much about it. Like, it's just being more physical. That's the only difference. And teams in the East Coast like to score like fast, like to put up points. So that's really the only difference. As far as the West and the East, it's the same still style of play. Only difference, what I would say is, you got better colorful players on the East Coast being to the West Coast. You got a lot more better talent around the East than you do the West. I mean, don't get me wrong, you got talent on the West too, but there's more talent here on the East than there.
Because I mean, when you were with the Insomniacs, you were one of those that were kind of pretty much on the even line of how things were between both. Obviously, being in the West, you're gonna rep the team and everything else like that going in. But now, obviously, the tune is a little bit more. The East. What makes the East that much more physical? What makes them that much faster? Because I'm sure guys on the West are gonna disagree with that completely.
Nah. Size, like I say, size of linemen. The trenches matter. Okay. You look at most of the teams on the East Coast. All their linemen are all big as hell. You look at the guys on the West Coast. Some are big, but some are like meant for speed rush, edge rushers. They're not meant to be like someone like a Burton or someone like a K-Wack or someone like Dave. Like they're not big guys. So they can get mad all they want. It's the truth. Look at the film. Look at most of the guys.
So what was really the main reason for the move back to the East Coast?
Well, family, really. It wasn't even because of BIC, but prior to moving back, I was already planning on coming back home anyways. Like even before the Insomniacs even started our championship run, I was already planning on moving back home. So I wasn't worried about just coming home and joining BIC. And if anybody knew, I was going to go back to Ohio first before I even came back to Philly. So
that would have been interesting having Trey Robinson over in the Ohio division.
Yeah, Corey Hammond was a bit mad that I didn't go to Chaos. I wanted to come home.
I'd have been mad, to be honest. Corey didn't know that's mad.
But what happened? Sorry?
But I would have been mad if you to play for Ohio.
Nah. I wanted to. I was going to do it, though. But nah.
Nah, we couldn't have that.
Nah. I had to come back to Philly.
Appreciate it.
Wouldn't have been right.
And the decision to be on the BIC, that was kind of an easy choice, or were you kind of torn between anybody else?
Nah, BIC was already. That's the only team I would have came home and played for. It's only just BIC. So it wasn't like I wanted to play for anybody else. It was them or nobody.
And since again we're getting into the playoffs and everything else now, with everything that's going on, obviously the confidence is going to be there with you and the guys. But is there anything that the East Coast has and has been doing that the West Coast hasn't necessarily been acknowledging? Because again, there's always the back and forth between the two. Who's better? This side, that side. There's always that. But again,
I can end that right now. What coach has more championships? What coach started this shit? It wouldn't be no Western Division if it wasn't for the East Coast in the first place. So they could talk about who won and who not, but think about it. You won one championship. That's it. How many won back east? And it don't matter if it was won by the U, the Animals, the A team, this team, that team. It don't matter. If we talking East versus West.
Squad decide that built the league. That's an obvious,
But at the same time, people got to remember, we built the Insomniacs to beat teams back east. That was the whole point of building the Insomniacs. So it wasn't like we knew what we were doing. That was the whole goal.
You had to be able to prepare for what was coming. But now again, we're seeing from the East Coast, there seems to be this. It's like an anger, really. From the BIC, from the U, from really anybody that we're seeing on the East, they're playing with some sort, not like a prove it, but we're sick of the slander that we've been hearing. So this is what you're gonna get.
Yeah, it's a lot of personal vendettas going around. And that's football. You know, it won't be football if you didn't have those. So there's gonna be arguments on the field. Yeah, people are gonna be saying shit. I mean, that's our part of football. I mean, but as far as the East versus the West, man, the East already know what it is. The West is gonna have to find out.
And are you looking forward to possibly having a bit of a playing against your old team in the playoffs type of situation?
I would love that. Like, you know how crazy of a media content that will bring.
I mean,
that's crazy. I mean, not not for myself, but just for the league in general.
I would love to see that as a championship game. To be honest, because there would be a whole lot of hype around that.
That would be.
I mean, and what a way to end the 10th season. You know, to have that type of.
That'd be even more special.
So, you know, we've been talking about the positive, but obviously you wanted to come onto the show for a reason.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
you've already kind of discussed things, you know, over and over. You've kind of said your piece and stuff like that on social media, and everything else like that. But what, obviously, in your eyes, what do you think needs to change in order for stuff like this to be, you know, avoided?
Well, like as far as what? Like,
I mean, as far as just the situation in general, like, you know, that happened out there in Vegas. You got things going on, you know, before the years before with players and stuff like that getting into it. It's really the physical altercations that are kind of.
Oh, no, I ain't worried about nobody, man.
But I know you're not worried about anybody. I understand that. I'm just saying, like, what I've always kind of put it to, and this is just blunt and honest. There are certain things where you need to be able to put your ego to the side, you know, especially understanding what things are. But what needs to kind of change that mindset going forward?
Shit. Just want to win. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to explain how to win, bro. Like, you just have to. It's something you just have to, like, work for. I mean, I look at it as making sacrifices now, so later on down the road you ain't gotta make them because you made them already, type shit. So, like, for everybody's different, but for me, I don't know, man. I just want to win. Like, that means being third string, then fuck it. I mean, that means to put my project side, third string, second string, first string, whatever, wherever like they need me at, or it's best for the team. Like, that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to talk about stats. I'm not here to talk about the shit that happened before. That's me personally.
And that's fair enough, because again, people have called, and you know, again, there's always been kind of questions about certain things on how, because they know how talented of a player you are.
Yeah.
Not being able to kind of, or not so much as being able to, but choosing to do a certain route and be for the team. That kind of throws things a little bit in perspective on what it takes to be able to win, to be able to put, and that's kind of a good prime example on putting an ego to the side, you know, putting your own self, you know, away for the team's benefit.
Sacrifice. Feel me? I see my quarterback do some shit that I've never seen before 2 weeks ago, ever. He had got every skill player a touchdown. Every skill player on our offense had a touchdown.
Yeah, Sterry's something different.
Come on, man. Like, we having fun over here, bro. We ain't worried about it. Ain't no egos over here. So, people on the outside can think what they want to think. They can say what they want to say, but in reality, they don't fucking know because they're not here. You know? In my eye, you just another hater. So to sit back and enjoy the show, you know.
The BIC has definitely been playing with a different mindset again this year. Um, Seeing how things have been going and the development with this team throughout the season so far. Um, how are you feeling about this team? Like, is there like a special feeling? Is there like a obviously win it all or bust type of feeling? Like, what does it feel like in the BIC locker room
Just
right
like
now?
just like real you know, like one, you know. We all move at the same pace. Like we all move at the same, we got our back, it's just like real family oriented. You know what I mean? It's different. It feel good when you like around a bunch of guys that love the game as much as football as you do, bro. You feel me? Understanding, they understand what you see, you understand what they see. It ain't an argument. It ain't just one sided. Like that makes the game so much more you know, easier. Like as a player, it makes it easier for them because at the same time you ain't gotta do so much, or at the same time you ain't gotta think so much because you got someone next to you, that's just as smart as you is, or understand what's going on. You know what I mean? So at that point, you can have fun because you ain't gotta worry about so much more shit. But as far as like being a part of BIC, bro, that shit is just, is just like real family oriented. The loyalty is there, trust is there. You know, what more can I say? Like,
The
it's something you
formula
want to be a
that's completely needed.
it's something you want to be a part of. You know, like it's just how it
It's
is.
gonna be it's been something fun to watch, and going into this week, I don't really want to be a cliche because we already know what the mindset is going to be. You said it, and stuff like that here so far. But is there anything about the opposition that makes what adjustments do the BIC need to make or do to kind of make sure to secure a W in this situation this week?
Like versus the Animals or this past week with the Watchmen.
Versus the Animals.
Oh man. Oh, oh god. I wasn't trying to be like all like I ain't gonna say rude but spicy, but you can whoop their ass, bro. Like it's not even gonna be a game, you know. It's like, and I'm saying that calmly. Like it's not, like it's just we got a big goal in mind. So we're gonna beat the Animals, take these 2 weeks off, get right, watch our film, and take care of business. All the other shit will fall in place.
There's been comparisons, or at least something that I've seen, between Insomniacs and the BIC. And you being the player that's played for both of them, there's certain, I guess, similarities you can say when it comes to talent and guys in certain positions and stuff like that, but however we look at
it. There's no comparison. There's no comparison. Like, and at the same time, I'm not even going to compare King Mack to Dave Valley because it's not a comparison, bro. It's not. So, and then you don't got nobody like Sterry. You can't compare Scott Hamilton to Sterry. Come on, man.
I mean, Scooter could throw the ball, man. He may not be able or have to run or anything like that, but man's accurate. You played with him. You could at least admit that.
I'm gonna say, the reason why he's accurate is because he has all day to throw the ball. When you put him against somebody like a Jersey team that's gonna have motherfuckers coming at you, pressure in your face, which we haven't seen, and we did see it versus Nightcrawlers, we almost lost the game. And I'm just keeping it 100. But now seeing that it's not really like much comp in the West. I mean, yeah, you're gonna have like you're gonna have time to throw the ball. You feel me? I ain't trying to talk down on them. I'm just telling the truth. You got Kenny Mack in the middle. You feel me? Like that's probably one of the best offensive linemen out there. And nobody getting past that, man. So it's like, then got the other OG. And you probably got Dave out there. So their line's pretty good, but versus ass teams, of course, you gonna have time to throw the ball.
Got the pressure coming in, fellas. Okay, Matt, anything for Mr. Robinson? Okay, yeah, no. K's muted.
I really hope they make it to the playoff. I mean, the championship, bro. That'd be something special for real. That'd be a fun game.
A lot of people are predicting.
Yeah, I know. That'd really be a fun game, though.
What happened?
I was gonna say, did you have anything for Trey?
Oh no. Still come on, though.
Not one question?
I ain't got shit to down. I'm trying to be real. I'm editing the video right now.
Nah, I feel it. But that would be cool though, They really did make it out there. And I think it's gonna be a championship is gonna be here in Jersey. So
I heard rumblings that it was gonna be in Ohio, but
again? I mean, not again, but why would it be in Ohio? I mean, I heard Indy, then we heard Jersey, so I don't know. We don't know nothing.
We're gonna have it figured out by the end of the day. It'll be fine, and it's gonna be something that's gonna be, again, something to top off the 10th season of the A7 NFL. Trey, the confidence is strong. We see it. We know it. We appreciate you as always for being able to give a little bit of time to talk with us. Good luck for the rest of the season. We will definitely be watching closely. And anything on the way out that needs to be said before heading out for us today?
I was going to say, shout out to my man K-Wag while we do that. Shout out to my man Tone Smith back in Vegas. Shout out to my man Yodi. Shout out to BIC. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
BIC,
ladies and gentlemen of the JAFFO Army from New Jersey BIC, Mr. Trey Robinson. Appreciate you, Trey. We'll see you again next time, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, before we move on to the next really open forum topic about things that have been going on in the sports world, let's get a quick message from our friends over at Raise Energy. What's up, JAFFO Army? JP here of the All-Pro JAFFOs, bringing you a message from our proud partners over at Raise Energy. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring the consumer a powerful yet sustained energetic experience to help us put your workouts and focus in general to the very next level. Perfect for anyone at any time. Raise Energy has become the most popular, the best rated energy drink on the market to date, with a phenomenal flavor profile that puts most of the competitors just downright to shame. Powered by the enhanced Refresh technology, Raise Energy delivers with a performance-enhancing energy drink profile that aids in the most often overlooked categories, which include targeted focus, enhanced recovery time, as glycogen becomes depleted, improve clean energy levels, boost in stamina and in hydration. Most importantly, each can of Raise has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. You should not have to drink or settle for any other energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, opt for the smart choice with the #1 fan-voted energy drink on the planet with Raise Energy Drink. Use the promo code ALPHARAISE at checkout to get 15% off of your order. Demand more. Join the Raise Rebellion. Let them know the JAFFOs sent you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, once again, go to repsports.com, reppsports.com. Use the promo code ALPHARAISE for 15% off of your order. Well, the NFL draft just happened. We had a collaboration, watch along in the first round with our friends over on the Mizzle and Dub show, Mr. Dub Alvarez and Mizzle as well. Having a good time. It was pretty fun day to see. A lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of anger, a lot of holy shit. Kay, you joined. There was one pick that obviously there's a bit of a divide on what the Falcons were doing, but you seem to have a little bit of a worry about one Michael Penix Jr. going to the Atlanta Falcons. Your thoughts on that pick?
I'm sorry, I missed the question. Repeat it.
I said you had a bit of a reaction about when Michael Penix Jr. went to the Falcons. I was your thoughts on that pick, especially going to an NFC South rival.
Yeah, honestly, I hated it because Kirk Cousins is coming off a pretty devastating injury. Um, I mean, if he recovers naturally, he's probably, he's gonna play. But in Kirk Cousins' history, he's always, even when he was healthy, he always managed to get benched. You know what I mean? And I feel like that'll be the moment that Penix to get in and all those young guys, they'll actually jail. They're gonna jail like immediately because I think that's what what they actually needed. You know what I mean? In Atlanta, like looking at it unbiasedly, like that's kind of what they needed. A mobile type quarterback for the weapons they have that can actually throw the ball. So like what Cam Newton was saying, like Lamar Jackson, he would have fit perfectly. They would have been in the Super Bowl immediately. With Lamar Jackson, with that offense that they have, with Bijan and all those guys. But I mean, I still think they're gonna do well with Kirk Cousins. I don't know how mobile he's gonna be, how he's gonna be able to escape out of sacks. So I feel like that's gonna be an issue. So that's why I feel like Penix is gonna play a lot sooner than later. Like if I had to take a guess, I'll say week 14, week 12, between week 11 to 14, he's gonna probably get in the game.
Damn, so you think it's gonna be that soon?
I mean, 11 to 14 is enough time. That's a nice window. That's like my guess. If I had to take a guess of when you gonna probably get in.
Ladies and gentlemen, speak of the devil from the Mizzle and Dub show. Mr. Mizzle, what's up, Mizzle?
How's it going, fellas?
Going good, man. Just talking a little bit about how the draft went. You said there on the comments of the Bowers pick, the tight end out of Georgia going to the Raiders. And we were laughing because it was hilarious how kind of Raider fans were in shock of the fact that they actually had made a good pick.
Well, we've been taking picks round one, and they've been either in jail, cut, can't make it. So to actually draft a good player, we didn't know how to take that. So yeah, if you go back and watch the show, my face was like, so I'll take it.
No, it was a good day. It was or at least a good day for the Raiders. To be honest, you guys had a pretty good draft, especially shortly after that, getting kid from Oregon. That one we were talking about, we were surprised that he didn't go day one. The what was it? The center guard was fuck.
Just something JPJ, something Powers Johnson, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think it was Powers Johnson.
Yeah, I love that kid. His attitude, and he's gonna bring a Max Crosby type of attitude to that offensive line.
Oof.
That kid is productive.
You guys got a top tier tight end, one that they say is, and I know Kay is not like keen on the descriptions and everything else like that, but Brock Bowers very much is a bit of a combination of Sir Rob Gronkowski Spike and Travis Kelce, in the fact that yes, he not only can he run routes, cause separation, catch the ball, be a good red zone target, yada 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 yada. He's a pretty damn good run blocker too.
Yeah.
So all around a really good tight end.
And he can take an end around 50 yards.
Yeah. So it's at a point now where the Raiders are starting to, and I don't know how much Antonio Pierce had really a say in everything. I'm sure he had a pretty good amount of say of what went on, but the Raiders right now, and again, we've had that the back and forth Raiders 49ers. Yeah, there's the rivalry, but there is a small level of respect for certain situations, and I can admit when even the Raiders are doing something that you need to look at and go, shit, that might be a problem a little bit later on down the line.
Yes, sir. Oh, I'm so glad you said that. Because I had something that you wasn't gonna like, and I was kind of bubbling up like, what demeanor should I take when I present this? And I'm like, oh, Josh is rolling out the red carpet with the velvet ropes. I'm watching this layout like, oh my gosh, here comes the paparazzi. Oh, all right, cool. So here it goes. If the Raiders can get a running back, skill set wise, they're a better team than y'all.
I agree. We missed out on that. I would have liked to take Trey, that kid out of Texas. He would have been nice.
Which one?
I can't think of his name. He got dreads. I think he got dreads. Was it 24? Was there a 24 running back for Texas?
I think he was another Robinson.
Yes, that sounds about right. Yeah, I would have liked to have him.
Josh would have disowned that boy. Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, they're a better team than y'all skill set wise, because Devontae Adams better than everybody in y'all receiver room.
Yeah,
there seems to be a trust in Aiden O'Connell.
I mean, shit, if they can give him that same boost like y'all gave Brock Purdy, shit, he might be better than Buddy.
If we beef up if the offensive line can keep him, well, that's with any quarterback. But if that offensive line can gel, I mean, if you've seen his towards the end of the season, he took care of the ball. I think 8 touchdowns, no interceptions. The build him and Devontae Adams was getting him and Trey Tucker. Mayer was getting good. Now you just throw Bowers up in there, and I agree with what Country K said. We're like a running back away from having like a pretty dominant, a good offense.
I ain't say all that, but I said y'all was better than.
I took the word dominant out, man. I corrected myself. That was just a Raider fan coming out of me.
And you added a lot of methamphetamine to that doggone word. Because it got real Thunder Valley. Yeah, that way I used to talking. Y'all know exactly what I'm referencing. You know what I mean? So,
but are we shocked at what Telesco did though? Look what he did with the Chargers. He will find the talent. Can they stay on the field is the problem.
I mean, he did a better job of finding durable players for y'all. I think they probably had a goal when he was with Staley to get a specific type of player.
Agreed.
And AP probably has a different approach. He want a tough, gritty guy that can take a bruising That's why Drake was buddy from Georgia. He looked like all they did. That's exactly what that family looked like when he got drafted. If you go back and look at his draft, I mean, when he got drafted, his reaction of you look at the whole family like, God damn, all they look like they do is hunt, chop fucking wood, and like do like outdoorsy shit. You know what I'm saying? Playing mud and shit. Like he gonna go to Vegas, he gonna be kind of mad probably. He gonna be kind of mad probably. He'll be able to shoot though. I can tell you that. 'Cause Nevada, they let you shoot in them fucking hills and shit, so he'll be able to shoot.
Oh yeah.
Some
In that truck.
apparently some light skinned Blaxican is on with us.
I am a light skinned Blaxican. That light
Ladies
skinned
and gentlemen, Mr. Dub Alvarez is with us.
Well, Dub is probably the best person that can
I had to change up the name for a minute, guys, but family, how you guys doing?
Good.
Doing well, sir.
Good,
Doing
good.
well, sir. Welcome to the show. I know you just got off with another show, Talking Ish, with Dub and Chris, Mr. Chris Vera. Shout out to him. Going over a bit of the draft and everything, and I wanted to ask Mad Sticks real quick because obviously his Jets didn't have a first round pick at this point. But how did you feel about your secondary team, the Dallas Cowboys, picking a Oklahoma lineman who, in my opinion, really ain't shit?
I didn't pay attention to the
I'm
draft,
gonna try to answer this question
but we got Zeke back.
because you were sounding like a robot.
Zeke is back.
Repeat that again.
I said Zeke is back. That's all I care about. Zeke is back. We needed a running back.
You know it's terrible when the highlight of this entire offseason, including the draft, to DJ Mad Six is the fact that Ezekiel Elliott is back in a Cowboys uniform. That is wild when that is the highlight of the offseason.
Right. As soon as he fucking finished, Ragnarok is goddamn coming. You hear me? I'm like laughing over there. You know what time it is. Excuse me, what you said over there, sir? He said, what else?
I mean, I think the Cowboys they traded back. I think two times with the opportunity to get
the running back for 2 years. We heard him talk about get the hell out of town. He sucked. He washed. That's what he's talking about.
He deserves a second chance. Everybody deserves a second chance.
Oh, he's in that stage of the depression right now.
Okay.
That's crazy.
That's called denial.
let's see how graceful his heart is.
No, I couldn't say anything. It's because I'm like in a bad area where I couldn't hear shit, but now I can hear shit. So please repeat.
Oh.
Okay.
We asked Matt Stick how he felt about the Cowboys, and he said the highlight of the entire offseason was getting Zeke back.
It's still funny as I heard it previously, but it's still funny.
Got it.
That's pretty crazy. I'm still.
But I thought he said he was gonna come out and spend money though. That's the thing. They're all in. So you're all in on Zeke Elliott?
Hey, I guess. They ain't spend $1 on nobody. They got that food $30 million. That was about it.
Oh man.
1 year, $30 million.
Well, hold on, 1 year, $30 million?
It's only 1 year. Yeah, it's only a year contract.
They overpaid like a motherfucker for
$30 million
for one.
Yeah, I think it's like $30 million. Yeah, for $1 million.
No,
that got to be a lot of incentives.
That
got to be a lot of incentives. That's a lot of incentives.
How much of that is guaranteed? Because holy shit,
right?
$30 million for a running back, an aged running back at that.
That's almost guaranteed though.
$3 million. Sorry, $3 million.
Oh,
$3
okay.
million.
1 year,
Oh,
$3
okay.
million.
Oh, shit.
That sounds better.
Holy crap.
Two
I was
million is
about-
$2 million is guaranteed.
That's a lot better.
I was gonna say, Matt Sticks, if they paid $30 million for Ezekiel Elliott, y'all should be going to burn down fucking Jerry World right now. If that was the case. Holy shit, paying that much for Ezekiel Elliott. Wow, okay, $3 million. 1 year, $3 million. That's okay, good. But I mean, again, y'all had the chance.
K trying
Go
to get
ahead.
back in. K said let him in.
Oh shit. My bad.
You guys don't see no messages, fam. Like,
I
none.
just
Hey,
Well,
yo,
it's
he
at
said
a
30
certain
million.
time
I'm
my
like,
phone
let
goes
me
into
back
sleep mode
in.
now, so I don't get any messages, no calls, no nothing. I get no disturbances. I got tired of getting phone calls.
No, it's all good. When Massey said 30 million, I was over here shaking. I was like, let me back in. No, here's the problem. Here's my problem with the whole thing. It's not like y'all offensive line got better. That didn't get better. The only person that got better was Speedy. So y'all basically running the same offense y'all ran in 2008. Y'all running the same thing y'all ran in 2008 with Tony Romo and Dez Bryant. Well, you got one receiver and a bunch of and Michael Gallup now in Vegas.
Yeah, he in Vegas now, yep.
No.
That's why I said Vegas is for real better than y'all. Like the Niners. Like I don't know. I feel like y'all gonna be real mad if y'all play them boys this year. Like it's gonna
We
be.
still got to put it together, Kay.
Say it again.
We still got to put it together. I mean, we right now it looks good on paper, but AP got to lead them boys. They got to come together.
Look,
I mean, I don't think it's. I think they'll be fine, but when you sign all these good players, they still got to gel.
No, I get that, but I'm saying as far as the type of players he picked a bunch of guys where it looked like they're team guys.
Yeah. A lot of award winners too, like that guy we took from Air Force. He's a Thorpe winner. So
Yeah, I'm saying he went to go get dogs, people that's gonna go play. It don't matter where you from. Before, I was really impressed with Vegas. I was out there talking to Vegas. Vegas seen this one guy. He was in a lifted Vegas truck. I was at the gas station. He was behind me at the gas pump, pause and all that. You know what I'm saying? So he was in the pump next to mine. I probably should reference it like that, refer to like that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so we talking and stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, y'all had a good pick. This is after day one. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, y'all had a good pick and stuff. And he telling me that his uncle used to play for the Raiders. I forgot his name. He's a legendary player. He used to play center for the Raiders back in the Gap. You know what I'm saying? So, Mills, you're probably the best person to have on right now. Oh, and Dub just got back on. We got the sports almanac.
Was it Dave Dalby or was it Don Mosbar?
yeah, that's some. Those about the two out his head.
Say the names again.
Or was it Barrett Robbins or was it Adam True?
You gonna say the first two again?
But if
The
you're
first
talking
two, that
Dave Dalby, he wore number 50. He was on all three Raiders Super Bowl teams, and then Don Mosbar replaced Dan Dalby in the 80s and early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think it was either one of those names, but he basically was telling me about his, you know what I mean, his uncle, how he talked trash and stuff. And he was just like, we found the same thing that Mizzle said, like, we finally actually had a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
He was happy with getting the tight end from Georgia. And he was saying all that stuff. He's like, normally he's in there because he got like dementia now, I think he said. And I don't want to give him a bad ailment, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said. But he was telling me all that stuff, and I think he said he can't walk now or something like that. He's like he be in there throwing fits and stuff at every draft, and this is the first one he was just chilling.
Yep. I can second that.
I mean, when K comes up and he says like the Raiders are going to be better than the Niners, it makes me upset because I mean, again, I saw the draft. Everyone saw night one. and I was not happy whatsoever with picking a slot receiver, especially one after the combine and everything, ranked the 16th wide receiver, third round grade, as a first round pick.
Ouch. We've been there. I just think about Darius Haywood Bay that we drafted. Jesus.
Yeah, nah, that's bad. But you got to remember what the Niners did. We gotta go back a few years ago, like when they traded 3 first round picks to move up to get doggone Trey Young, and then only use money that they picked as the last pick of the draft. They away all their assets. Then they gave away all their stuff. CMC didn't win a Super Bowl behind it.
And then we picked. Now I was happy that we got a DB. I just wasn't happy with the fact of who we got as the DB. Look, I know Renardo Green has a lot of size. He's got some decent speed, but you can watch a highlight tape all you want to. Go actually look at the film, and he gets cooked a whole hell of a lot more than he doesn't. So,
He's a DB then.
say what?
He's a Niner DB then. If that's what you pick, he picked what y'all actually do. Y'all DBs get cooked more than anything on the field.
So we picked somebody who will fit right in. Great.
Exactly.
Great. It's exactly what we need. And then the third round pick going in and getting the lineman. I was happy with this pick. Dominic Pooney from Kansas. He's an actual good lineman, but I feel like we could have added more. I feel like we could have had the opportunity to get somebody like Powers Johnson, because again, we need help on the entire right side of the line. So having him at the center spot and then getting Pooney to be, the right tackle, that would have worked for me. We could have got, and then second round get somebody, or even if we were going to get a DB, get one of the top ones that we had an opportunity to get. We had an opportunity to get a top 5 DB in the draft, and we passed it up for a slot receiver out of Florida with a third round grade. Like,
you also could have got the receiver from South Carolina that can't talk worth shit.
Wait, we could have got oh yeah, that's right. We could have got Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
Let's see, who else could we got?
Oh no, hey, buddy that went to the Panthers, what's his name? He can't talk worth a damn. That's not Coleman. Coleman played for the Patriots. I'm talking about
the dude who they got for the Panthers, like he let me see, I'm looking at right here.
Talk worth shit. He got picked 32nd.
Like not like Garrett.
Leggett.
Leggett. I thought it was a Garrett. Leggett.
Like that. He went to South Carolina. He can't talk worth a damn. He need a whole motherfucking season reality show. I'm telling you, the NFL would not be the NFL if they didn't try to capitalize on that, bro. They need to go do that. Real shit. He can't talk worth shit. And have Lou Young go behind him because the motherfucker was a DB and he a receiver. You know what I'm saying? Lou Young played for the Panthers for a little bit, and he a media guy, and he can make that funny, bro. I'm telling you that. Look, put me on the team on production or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Try and get a little check. You know what I'm saying? I be putting stuff together like this all the time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get this, NFL. You know what I'm saying? Just call
Like, yeah, we realized he was on the Bills. I'm saying that's an opportunity for somebody that we could have.
You're right. It is
instead of a third round wide receiver.
Before I bounce out, I'll say this. I was the reason. I think I cursed you guys because when the pick was about to come up, I said, "Isn't this something that you guys would do?" draft a wide receiver or a kicker, and JP was ready to crucify me for saying that.
Yep. He definitely said that shit. Crying. I was crying because I was like, he right. He right. The Niners will pick a receiver when everybody said O lineman. You and Dub just said we O lineman. You know what I mean? Right guard. All this. He's smoking now.
I appreciate you guys having me on duty calls.
Oh yeah,
I want to chime in on my lunch break and just come in and show some love. I appreciate you guys, man.
yes, sir.
Enjoy the rest of the
Appreciate you for
show.
coming on, sir. Ladies and gentlemen,
Of
from the
course.
Mizzle and Dove Show. See you
And
later, Mizzle.
also, stay tuned Sunday. Me,
Oh,
Mr. 25 himself, and JP will be doing our own Manning cast of the A7FL for the Insomniacs versus Sick With It. Stay tuned. That's going to be amazing. Appreciate you, fellas.
oh yeah, sir. We'll see you later. Yeah, no, I was not a fan of this draft. I was not happy during this draft, and there's a lot of people on social media who are saying, "Oh, yep, the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, they did it again. They're geniuses. They know what they're doing. This, and that." What needs to happen for the delusion to finally stop? What needs to happen for us to actually see what's right in front of us and call it for what it is?
Y'all got to fire Shanahan. Y'all got to fire Shanahan, and y'all got to keep John Lynch, though. Or y'all got to fire John Lynch. Because then y'all need somebody to get better groceries. That's really what the problem is. I feel like, all right, so that's one thing. That's my opinion. But I heard here's a funny opinion. Somebody said something funny, which is fucking hilarious. It's slightly racist, but it's hilarious. They said Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch trying to make an all-white team. That shit was funny as fuck. Because they got Percival, CMC, and they trying to get rid of fucking goddamn Debo and Ayuk, and they keep it Kittle. Funny as fuck. Hey, but no, on some real shit, I kept telling you that Kyle Shanahan, he wants to prove that he's right all the time. Like, he wants to prove that he's right. And I can guarantee that Debo and Ayuk both was fucking tripping after that Super Bowl. I can almost guarantee, because Brandon Ayuk came out. It came out that he was tripping. Before the season, he already was ready to fucking get up out of there. I told you he was ready to go.
It's not that he was ready to go.
He was in the
Again,
club.
he had said he doesn't want to leave. He just wants to get paid.
Man, he said that after he was in the club saying trade me on video. He was on video saying trade me. That was before the season. He was in bottle service. Y'all don't remember that shit?
I feel like last year was y'all last year to even make a Super Bowl. Y'all not going. That was y'all last attempt.
Yeah, it's over with. I kept saying you. I kept saying because Kyle Shanahan is a choke artist.
Yep.
Grab it.
3 and done.
You have nobody to filter all this shit.
This is just fucking sad. What it is. It's just absolutely sad. As soon as I saw the draft pick, at first it was, what makes it funny? It actually makes it funnier that you said they're trying to make an all-white team, because at first the player that popped up was, remember that white corner out of Iowa? That was the one that had popped up. So that would have been even funnier had they drafted him, because it would have been a white corner.
Y'all would have drafted him. Y'all defense would have got tremendously better. Jit, nice as fuck for real.
No, I understand that, but the joke of it being an all-white team would have gotten a little bit funnier, because
I get the joke. That's just fair. But on the
but he's good. No, yeah, I wish we would have gotten him actually instead of who we ended up with.
Hey, I'm telling you, y'all got him. Y'all would have been nice as fuck, because he also a punt return specialist. Like Jet, nice as fuck. He kept returning shit for Iowa. He nice for real.
I don't know, man. I don't know what we're thinking. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what the whole plan is because we got a good right tackle. I'll give him that in the third round. Because I mean, we had talked about it before. This was a very, very deep draft when it came to offensive linemen, and we should have capitalized on that because there were a lot of players that we could have picked up that would have automatically boosted that offensive line.
Speaking of,
And
got a nice little center.
could have got a great center, good right tackle, possibly a guard in there somewhere in the later rounds. But I did not see the need to go and draft a wide receiver in the first round. It made no sense to me. It still makes no sense to me. Like people are like, oh well, CJ Stroud said he was good. Well, this guy said it. It's like, yeah, the opinions have been proven wrong before. That's fine. People can have those opinions. That's fine. People who have been drafted in the fourth, fifth round have been called dogs before. So that's nothing that just makes me go, oh well, maybe they're right. Like, dude made a one-handed grab during the season, and that's really the only highlight that he had. He's a decent route runner. I'll give him that. He makes good separation, but again, he's a slot receiver. This is not what the team needed. Like Kay was saying, and that's actually one of the better points that he's made the entire season. We needed a true one at the wide receiver spot. And if we were going to do that, we needed to either trade up or, try to figure out something either in free agency or what, or just re-sign who we have and try and see where we can go from there. But drafting a slot receiver at 31 was not going to be the answer. And that's just what happens if Ricky balls out and I hope he does for the fucking team's sake. Like, yeah, there's plenty of situations where I actually hope that I'm fucking wrong. Honestly, I hope that I'm wrong in this situation. But especially if they're going to stick with we are going to find a way to keep both Debo and Ayuk. If that's their plan, and if Juwan Jennings, has an even better season than what he had last season, that's going to be another, problem that we're going to have to look forward to seeing in free agency at some point. We might even let him go. Juwan Jennings, if he has kind of another year, he can bring a good amount of trade value. If there's a little bit more of an improvement, you might be able to get a decent third round, pick out of him. But getting a guy, he's not going to be a day one starter. He's going to be a plug and play for certain situations kind of guy. And let's see here. Colonel John does deserve his fair share of criticism, no doubt. But that, however, for the last 4 to 5 seasons, the only Chiefs who had better success than the four. Yeah. And I understand that. And that's where it's even more upsetting. Because they have all this talent, they are that good, but there are certain decisions that get done and that get made that completely screw it up. It's all for nothing. You have more success than anybody in the NFC. Sure, been in the NFC Championship, gone to a couple of Super Bowls. That's awesome, but we're not fucking hoisting up the trophy, are we? Because it's either a personnel decision or a coaching decision, calling certain plays and stuff like that during the game. It's stuff like that that prevents us from getting where we need to be. Our entire right side of the line, had that been any better, we might be hoisting up more Lamarcus. But they are absolutely content with that being a weak point. Everybody knows that if you're not dominating the trenches, you're not going to be fucking successful. If you don't have a good offensive line, you're not going to be shit no matter how many weapons you have. Because it all starts on the offensive line. The right side of the line gave over 20 sacks last season as a whole. Aaron Banks and Trenton Williams were the only people on the offensive line that weren't giving up any that literally had 0 sacks on the season. From center to right tackle, they gave up over 20 sacks. That's a problem. It's an obvious problem, but again, something that hasn't been addressed the last 2-3 years. The right side of the line has always been the problem, but it's never been addressed. We had a chance to address it even more this season. Yes, we got a right tackle, but we could have bolstered it even more. We could have done so much more with what we had. And instead, like Kay said, it is Shanahan getting in his own way. He wants to be, try and be proven right. He wants to, it's like the same thing when he did with getting Trey Lance, like you said. He wants to be proven that even more a genius so much. He wants more smoke to be blown up his ass that he's literally making decisions that are a detriment to the fucking team. Yes, 100%. And that's a problem. The right side of the line hasn't really been good under the Shanahan Lynch regime at all. That the only thing I can think, or the only thing I can do, and the only way that I can thank the right side of the line is the fact that had it not been for the right side of the line, we wouldn't have seen and gotten a real good look and kind of see who we had in Brock Purdy. Okay. We wouldn't have been able to kind of see that Mr. Irrelevant is actually a pretty fucking good player.
Yeah,
But outside of that, it's a detriment because of the right side of the line, Brock got hurt. Shit happens. It's just there's the right side of the line is the problem. And we don't address it. Because Kyle, once again, getting in his own fucking way. Can't figure it out. And now it's going to be, yep, we're probably, making the playoffs, all of this kind of noise and stuff like that again, being a good offense, yada, yada, yada. But then there's going to be a coaching decision that gets made that runs us into the fucking dirt, and we're having the same fucking conversations we had already. Doesn't get any better. And watch, again, before that, another fucking music video is going to get made. And we're going to get fucking blown out.
Y'all not even making the playoffs, so I don't even know why you're talking that far ahead.
Yeah, I don't think y'all getting that far to be.
Y'all said that last season.
Talking like y'all got a good team or something.
Yeah, again, y'all said that last season.
No, last season we really didn't have much to back on. It was talking shit.
We talked that last year. Look what happened. Did y'all win the Super Bowl? Did y'all win the Super Bowl?
I mean, they got to that fucker. They got to that fucker. So, I mean, at some point, he got some kind of ammo. But at the same time, like I said, I'm going to be honest. I didn't really have much to stand on. I just know Kyle Shanahan the choke artist. So, whether if you made it or not, y'all was going to lose that fucker. So, I knew that to be true.
We're obviously good enough to get to the position, just not enough to get over the hump and fucking.
No, I ain't gonna say that either. I'm not gonna say that either. Y'all just got a lot of lucky breaks. Like every time y'all go, y'all catch a bunch of lucky breaks.
Explain.
I mean,
Thank you,
shit.
Dub. Thank you, Dub.
I'm trying to figure out what was the lineup this year? Y'all played Detroit, y'all played Green Bay, and then y'all played Philly, right? And then y'all played Kansas City.
Was it Philly?
Who was the team y'all playing NC Championship?
We played the Lions in the NFC Championship.
Okay.
We played
Sorry.
Green Bay the week before. Fuck, why am I blanking on that?
Nah, y'all didn't play Detroit in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, we did. It was NFC Championship. We played Detroit.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, you're right. Oh, who the fuck y'all play first? Oh, y'all had a bye.
Didn't y'all play Green Bay?
No,
Y'all
we
had
did
a
have a
bye.
bye week.
Y'all had a bye, then
Yeah,
y'all played Green Bay, and then y'all played Detroit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was thinking, I'm like, y'all should have played 3 games.
I was about
All
to say, I'm like, wait a minute.
cool.
No, there's. I was like, I know I'm not missing.
Yeah, y'all had the first round bye, but I'm even still, like I'm saying, like y'all played Jordan Love when he was young, and he almost whooped y'all. He almost beat y'all. That's first off. And then Detroit start getting risky when they beat us by being fundamental. If Detroit would have kept being fundamental, they would have beat y'all. They got risky. That's what it was. That's how y'all got that lucky break. They did that risk, but then y'all like, oh, they risked it to get here, but they didn't do that the week before when they played the Bucks. They played fundamental football when they played the Bucks. And then they risked it on that. It was like two fourth downs, right?
I think it was 3.
That's how y'all got lucky. Because if they would have played fundamentally, they would have beat y'all.
Lucky,
that's
sure,
what it was.
but
Y'all
it wasn't
Jordan.
something that was. Yeah, it was lucky, but it wasn't something that was out of the ordinary. Again, it wasn't something that Dan Campbell you'd never done before. Again, Dan Campbell had been doing it all season long.
This is the playoffs. I said that before. Again, the playoffs is a different season. What did he do in the playoffs? Was he risky? He was fundamental. He was butt up Daniel. He came to the job as Daniel.
Is he cutting out to you, Matt Six? A little bit. It's kind of in and out, a little robotic. You sound like something out of Terminator.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Is it better now?
You're good. Oh, now he's muted. Gotta check this out more then.
Okay, because I couldn't hear you. Broke up. Can you hear me for sure?
Yeah, no, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So no, he wasn't Dan. He wasn't Dan in the playoffs. He was Daniel. He came to that job as Daniel. He
went out again.
Yeah, now he got out. Like, God damn it, that always seems to happen. We'll catch him, and then it just cuts out. But I mean, this NFL season is going to be something interesting. As always. But there was one thing that happened that I was actually happened to see, and I wanted to get y'all's opinions about it. Reggie Bush gets his Heisman back. I think deservedly so. At the time, before this whole NIL and all that other kind of stuff started, him getting stripped of the Heisman, basically all the records of that USC team, the national championship, all that other kind of stuff was stripped from them. But now with the NIL and everything that's been going on, and especially Johnny Manziel coming out and saying the things that he said about his, Heisman career and everything else like that in college, about the things that he did way worse than Reggie Bush and still has his Heisman. So, Matt Six, when you saw the news, what was your first reaction to Reggie Bush finally getting his Heisman back?
I was glad because I felt like, he did what he did, but I felt like he should have never got stripped. Far much worse has been done, but, you would have never stripped the white man's Heisman Trophy.
They didn't strip Matt Leinart. They stripped the national championship that Matt Leinart won his Heisman, but they didn't strip his Heisman.
Yep. So, but it was due right. So, I was happy that he got it back. Long overdue.
Yeah, and then Manziel, Tim Brown, other Heisman Trophy winners took stands supporting him. Absolutely,
Definitely, yeah.
That's definitely something. And now a lot of the USC players and everything, especially from back then, are now trying to get all of the records and the national championship and stuff like that reinstated.
They should. I mean, if you're gonna give him the Heisman back, you should give him everything back at this point. So
you might as well. Might as well. That's just kind of one step in the right direction. I mean, at the time, yeah, it was what it was. But now, when you really look at it, it's kind of like, what are we really talking about? The game has changed, and like you said, regardless of what he got paid, he still did what he did. He still set the records that he set. He was still that fucking dude on the football field. It was very much Reggie Bush was welcome back, Deb. But Reggie Bush was very much one of the most fun players to watch back at that time.
Yeah, that's what kind of got me back into watching college football. I was watching him. I was like, this dude is dope.
Who in 2005 was better than Reggie Bush in college football? It's okay. I'll wait.
Nobody.
I mean, they're great players, but no one was Mr. Excitement other than Reginald Bush in 2005. All you want to know about Reggie Bush and that season, just watch the highlights against Fresno State alone. That game alone will tell you everything you need to know about Reggie Bush in that season, the year he won the Heisman in 2005. Just watch that game footage of that particular game.
Yeah, Reggie Bush was. I mean, again, I'm a Texas fan, and I love the outcome, the way that national championship, arguably the greatest national championship game ever played. But even then, at that time, I still remember to this day, I had my doubts big time. I was telling my mom when we were watching that game, it's like, there's no way. Reggie is being Reggie. He's fucking super. Like, we're stopping him, but then a man by the name of Lindell White was just destroying, north-south style runner, just absolutely taking the breath out of the defensive line and the linebacking core at that point. It was, I had my doubts, but then, Reggie Bush had that infamous, trying to make a play, trying to lateral the ball back to his teammate, ended up turning a fumble turnover to the Texas Longhorns. And then, Vince Young, being the incredible player that he was back at that time, kind of sealing the deal for Texas. But Reggie Bush was always somebody, as soon as he got the ball in his hands, if you were the opposing team,
one of his.
Oh, God. Go ahead, Deb.
I think he was saying Pete Carroll, talking about Pete Carroll, was a coach at that time.
I'm just saying that's where Pete Carroll made one of his two dumbest calls by not giving Reggie the ball on fourth down, instead giving it to Lindell White. And Texas defense was ready for Lindell White and stuffed him. And we all know what happened after that.
I mean, think of it this way, though.
That was.
Think of it this way, though, Dub. That game, like I just said, Lindell White was the driving force of that offense that game. Texas was stopping Reggie Bush for most of the game. He had that one touchdown, and stuff going towards the end. But up until that point, they were shutting down Reggie Bush. Lindell White was the one who was gashing him, getting the yardage that was necessary, getting some of those touchdowns, putting Matt Leinart and the rest of that offense in good positions to be able to get the ball into the end zone. So it again, it's one of those, sure, in hindsight, we can go ahead and say, yeah, you should have given it to Reggie Bush. But in that moment in time, there was nothing. If I was Pete Carroll, I would have made the same decision. They've been stopping Reggie. Lindell White is hacked. We only need 1 yard. Yeah, let's give it to the guy who's averaging pretty much over 5 yards per carry up until this point. Maybe that was kind of the mindset of they've been stopping Reggie. Reggie's not going to get north and south for this 1 yard. He's going to try and get more to the outside zone, however that's going to go down. But you only needed 1 yard, and you're not going to. Had they not given it to Lindell White and given it to Reggie or done another play and still not have gotten it, the argument would have been that's a dumb decision. They should have given it to the guy who was averaging 5 yards a play. Kind of another hindsight, looking at what he did with fucking in Seattle by not giving the ball to Marshawn Lynch at the 2-yard line on second fucking down. We'd be making that argument for him in that situation. But Reggie Bush, what he did for the game, because I've seen a lot of players, especially growing up in that time, who tried to emulate his game, and how he played. And he was one of those revolutionary style players in college football. Pro career was okay. It wasn't, I don't think they're gonna be calling Reggie Bush an NFL Hall of Famer anytime soon. But college football wise, the dude was something special. He was something crazy. So congratulations to him, for sure to be getting his Heisman trophy back, and rightfully so. Hopefully the records, and we'll see that, the national championship, all that kind of stuff get reinstated for him. But, congratulations to Reggie Bush. I actually wanted to bring this up real quick. NBA. Damian, your Lakers blew it. How you feeling? You're muted. You're muted, Damian.
I'm not tripping. We got kicked out, but all these King fans that's talking shouldn't be saying that because y'all didn't even make the playoffs. So that
King fans are talking?
Oh yeah, they always talking. They always talking.
Why?
Hey, y'all act like y'all the greatest show on earth, just like the Niners think they're the greatest show on earth.
Whoa! You can't lump me into that just yet. We can't lump me into that. I'm a fan of the team, but I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh yeah, I'm a Kings fan through and through. No. We can't lump me into that just yet. But I hadn't seen. Wait, my question is, how are you going to talk shit when that's the team that took you out?
Hey, you tell me the logic between that. That's how y'all get down.
I will say this. I'm glad Mad Six is in the second chances because I really want to know what his thoughts of D'Angelo Russell is.
He need to go. He already had enough chances.
He's done.
Yeah, he need to go. He need to go. LeBron. He need to go. LeBron need to retire. AD need to go. They just need to revamp the whole team.
But here's my question: who's going to be the head coach to run all that?
Hey, he need to go. He definitely need to go. He need the first one to be go. I don't know who's gonna run it, but that's the problem. I don't know who's gonna run it, but somebody he need to go.
Well, it's already been reported that Genie wants LeBron back, and LeBron said he's got 2 or 3 more years left in the tank, according to him. And then there's the whole Bronny James situation. I know Laker fans can't even stomach hearing the word rebuild because that's something they can't do. Otherwise, Laker fans would have a conniption. So obviously the problem has been, and it's been this way for the last few years, is they don't have shooting. That's been their main problem for the last 4 years is they don't have enough shooting. They don't have enough shooters.
Nope.
Because when you're still relying on LeBron to take clutch threes in clutch situations, that's not a good sign.
It ain't gonna happen.
My guess is Clay going there next season. I think so. My real guess for the Lakers, I think. Well, I feel like they should trade AD and D'Angelo Russell to get some assets because they don't have no bigs. They don't really have much as assets. But like all that other young stuff, they got to package that together. You should just keep Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura and Torian.
Yeah, Reeves was getting cooked during the playoff stuff.
Yeah, but right now he's still a young player, so he still was giving you points. It's not like he was getting cooked and he shut down. You know what I'm saying? Like he a young player. He only been in the league like 2 years, so he's still figuring it out. You know what I mean? But as far as like those big names, y'all got to get rid of them to try to get some assets, and then try to get like draft some stuff, and get like a Klay Thompson and like some other stuff. You know what I mean? Other pieces.
But this is what Clay has to do. Clay has to accept it himself that now you're a six-man spot-up shooter. Your job is to do what Jamal Crawford did for many years, which is come in, give some energy, and be a shooter and be a scorer. If he can accept that and accept that role, then yeah, he can be on any team. But him thinking that he's going to get a max deal because he wants a max deal, that's not going to happen. You're not the same player anymore. If he has to come to the realization that, hey, you know what? I need to embrace this Jamal Crawford role and just come off the bench, give energy, and shoot the ball and be a spot-up shooter. If he can accept that, there's a lot of teams that can use them for his services in that capacity.
Hey, I get your analogy, Doug, but I feel like it's disrespectful to Jay Crossover by pairing him up with Clay. Even Clay at his healthiest ain't even Jay Crossover. No disrespect or nothing to that stuff, but I'm just saying like Crawford like ran offense and stuff like that. I get your overall point because I completely agree with you. Come in 6-man, do your job, be a weapon. You know what I mean? Don't think you're a big guy. I completely agree with you, but just the Jay Crossover thing wasn't sitting right with me. I probably would give him a Mike Miller type role.
Well, I mean, Mike Miller was slow as molasses. All he could do was shoot the ball, but he shot the ball very effectively late in his career, absolutely. But I'm not necessarily comparing him to Jamal Crawford because Jamal Crawford, Lou Williams, those are completely different six-man. But if Clay can accept that role of being a six-man and give some energy, there's a lot of teams that can use him for his services. But to think that you're still a prime defender, no, buddy, you're not. I love you. Thank you for your contributions to giving us 4 championships. I appreciate it. But you have to accept your role now because you're not going to get a max deal like you're asking for. You're not. You're just not.
But will he accept that? I don't think he will.
That's the question. Now,
my concern is who is in his ear telling him the same talk that Carmelo Anthony was getting taught. Like they make Klay Thompson believe that he was like a guy like that.
well, whoa. I would hope his dad, who was an NBA champion in his own right, I would hope his dad, Michael Thompson, would talk some sense into him.
Maybe he's the one who's blowing smoke up his ass.
I don't know if his dad can help him. He don't think his dad touched this much money that Klay touching.
That's true too.
He probably have to ask his brothers that play baseball.
Well, I mean, Trey's money is all guaranteed in Major League Baseball, as we know. But I mean, that's a very good point you made. But I mean, somebody's got to sit him down and say, look, you're not the same all elite defender you once were because unfortunately your Achilles and your ACL went bad on you. But obviously, the one thing he can still do is shoot the ball. and he shot the ball better towards the playing game, and then he just took a tremendous crap against the Kings. But there has been glimpses of him going into scoring bursts like the old Clay. Now you shouldn't expect that all age games because, again, like I said, shooters have off nights because that's just the nature of the game. But if he can swallow his pride, which I know for a lot of athletes it's very hard to do when you're getting towards the end of your career when you've been doing certain things one way your whole entire career. But if he can humble himself and be like, you know what, I'll take whatever they give me, then sure, he can get a nice, friendly deal and still help contribute to a team.
I heard that they wanted to get people were suggesting that Donovan Mitchell go.
Have assets to trade for Spider.
Well, they're talking about giving up a lot for Donovan Mitchell.
I mean,
I
what's
think
a lot
Hachimura was part of that trade.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they don't really have much to give up. That's why I'm more than saying keep Hachimura because he's a young player that you can mold. And he has the same style of game as Anthony Davis. That's the reason why I'm saying that, because he's a younger player. But outside of that, like, his value right now isn't high. That's what I mean. Like, they really don't have high value players for the Lakers, so they have to trade what seems like a lot, but it's not much because most of those players gonna get cut or they're gonna get retraded in no 40-day mark.
We'll see. But gentlemen sweep. Murray hits 2 game winners. One of them in AD's face. The other one, AD was nowhere to be found. I know Madstix was pretty upset with Anthony Davis' play during this playoff run. Hence another reason why he says he needs to go. But now moving forward is, I don't know. I really don't even want to kind of play into the argument anymore because it's kind of an argument that's we can, beat it until it's like a dead horse, but there's not really any point to it. But other than that argument, was anybody else upset with the crying and the flopping with LeBron in this playoff series? Was anybody else like, I'm not even like saying it like to make that whole GOAT argument or anything else like that, but that type of
not
shit,
just that,
he's
but
literally throwing a fit.
Anthony Davis getting hit in the shoulder and then falling down like he broke his damn arm. Enough.
I don't think it's problem. I don't like. See, here's the thing with LeBron though. LeBron's whole career, they call him an Iron Man. Everybody's like, oh, he's doing all of this. He's flopping. Like, yeah, he flopped and stuff like that. But you got to think about the calls he's really not getting. The hits, he'd really be taking, and he's not getting calls. So that's the kind of stuff I kind of balance it out. Like, he'd be flopping to get a call because if he didn't do that, he'll never get calls because of how he's built.
I don't know if that's true.
Point, bro. He literally broke his nose in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's in Cleveland. I'm talking about this year.
Even called him foul. But I'm saying he's getting hurt. He's getting hurt all the time and stuff like that. And he has to protect himself. That's probably why he's flopping and stuff, because he's not getting calls. He's getting hit all the time. Like the one game Patrick Beverly brought the camera out and stuff against Boston when LeBron got stopped. He literally got fouled, bro. That was a foul for sure. And Patrick Beverly brought the camera out and stuff like that. He got fouled for sure. For sure. Jason Tatum fouled the shit out of him. But that's like stuff like that, like they don't give him calls, but at the same time, he should not be doing that flopping stuff. Like I agree with y'all on that. I'm not trying to like be a pacifist for that bullshit because I personally don't. That's not. You know what I mean? That's not the style I like my damn self. But I get it to an extent. But to Doug's point, what I was trying to say earlier. But to Doug's point, I fully agree with that. Anthony Davis is trash. And that little bullshit with Michael Porter Jr., bro, like Michael Porter Jr. way less than him. Like it wasn't like you had a big guy like really like put muscle on him or something. You know what I mean? Did you see the hit, Josh?
I saw that he was like down for
Oh
God
yeah,
knows
you
how
didn't see
long,
the hit.
had
I saw the
trainers
hit.
and shit around him, and like I
It was
didn't
a
see
damn
the
love tap.
actual
That's what
hit.
that was.
Yeah,
It was a
he
damn
like
love tap.
like all. Yeah, he was trying to go through across the paint, and Michael Porter Jr. basically just like nah, you can't go through here. It wasn't even nothing crazy, because Michael Porter Jr. ain't like a heavy set dude. Like they about the same size. Matter of fact, I'm telling you, Anthony Davis is like he weighs more than him.
I looked at that. I was like, "Oh, he's hurt," and then I was like, "Oh wait, no, he's not." Oh, okay. So he's just trying to sell it. All right, that's fine.
They got to
Yeah,
get
I
him
don't
out
know,
of LA. He want to roll.
man.
He want to move on.
Anybody else convinced that Ant-Man is Michael Jordan's illegitimate son?
Yeah, that's Jimmy, little brother.
Yeah. Michael Jordan had 2 kids, Jimmy Butler and Anthony
Two.
Edwards.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think I kind of want to see Minnesota win this whole thing.
They beat the dog shit out of Phoenix.
Yeah.
I saw a meme that said KD is
Well,
now
that
going to want to
happens
go
when you
play for
got.
Minnesota.
Well, that's what happens when you have no damn bench, and Phoenix has no bench to speak of. Then, not to mention, Devin Booker scores 49 in an elimination game, and you still lose.
Anthony
But
Edwards had 40 points and 7 threes. Jesus Christ.
no, but here's the kicker: he only had 9 points in the first half, and then explode for 31 in the second. That's how he got that 40. He went off in the second half.
That's insane. Jeez.
But yeah, I mean, he's special. He is special, and for once, I'll say it like this: the Timberwolves drafting Anthony Edwards is them making Steph Curry twice, because they had 2 chances to get him and they fumbled. So them getting Anthony Edwards was the basketball gods' forgiveness for skipping on Wardell twice in the draft in 2009.
It's a hell of a pickup, because this kid can do it all. High flyer, great mid range, can shoot the 3. Obviously,
Now, let me
kid's
ask a question
ridiculous.
amongst the panel, because I do think Nuggets and Timberwolves. I do think Nuggets and Timberwolves is going to be a dogfight. Now, let me ask you guys this question: do you think the winner of that series will represent the West in the finals?
No.
You like OKC, really?
No. Yeah, I do. Because they're a complete team and they play for each other. A little different than what Minnesota does. Minnesota, they play for Ant. Like Ant is their driving force. He is the Iron Man nuclear. What's it called, Dub?
The nucleus.
His heart.
Well,
His heart. Iron Man's heart.
oh,
What's it called?
he
Nuclear
is
reactor.
he is the reactor without question. Yes.
Yeah, so they play for him. If you take him out of that, then they're dead. If you take Shea out of there, they probably still can play. If you take Chet out of there, they still can play. You know what I'm saying? I truly believe that with OKC, they play like a full team.
But this is one of those things going like, yeah, you sweeping the Pelicans. I think everyone expected that, but do they have
And to
enough?
answer your question, Kay, it's called the arc reactor. So that's the official name for Iron Man's heart.
Thank you.
Do they have enough
Anytime, guys,
enough
anytime.
experience considering how young that they are to be able to get it done against one, the defending champions, and two, Michael Jordan's youngest son?
I mean, if you remember, Shea was with Chris Paul when they lost to the Warriors, first round of the
That is
playoffs
true.
after they made the play-in. When they made the play-in, they lost to the Warriors, and the Warriors were in the championship. So I mean, Shea already been in that position before.
I'm talking about like conference finals,
I'm just
NBA
gonna
finals.
I mean, that situation only comes into play when the team is overly veteran heavy. Neither one of those other teams, other than Denver, like if they play Minnesota, it's gonna come down to who has the better team. If they play Denver, then I feel you where you coming from. You know what I mean? Because they've already won, they've already done all of that stuff. It's just all based off a matchup at that point.
Well, if the Nuggets win the
absolutely.
if the Nuggets win the finals again, do you think Jokic is getting that top 5 center type of look?
Jokic, if he wins, they're gonna build him a fucking ranch. They're gonna build him a horse derby in somewhere in Colorado, bro. They're gonna blow up a fucking mountain to build a fucking horse fucking breeding ranch for Jokic in Colorado. You can guarantee it. They don't want him to leave. They not gonna want him to leave, bro. I'm telling you, because if he go back over there, he can be like, man, fuck the NBA. I don't want enough. I'm good. Because that's how them foreign dudes do. It's not like they like Tom Brady. They can be like, I gotta keep playing. No, they'll be like, all right, I played enough. Fuck it, I'm good. You know what I mean? So
I
they
think
gotta have an
Jokic
incentive
really
for him to
is.
keep.
Jokic really does have that mindset. Jokic can probably leave tomorrow and not give a shit like at all.
That's
And
what I'm
have no
saying.
regret.
They have
And have no regrets.
because he's won 3 MVPs and 2 rings. I feel like if Giannis is in the same boat, bro, I swear to you, if Giannis goes and wins another ring and the MVP, he probably gone. That's just how those foreign dudes are. They just came to get money and they about to dip. Because it's more fun where they from. They party harder and they celebrate way bigger than we do over here.
That is true. That is true.
Jokic probably was at a birthday party. They weren't even celebrating his championship when we saw Jokic. He was at a birthday party. They was getting it in. The party wasn't even about him. He looked like he was in place but out of place.
But I mean, is he already in that conversation of top 5 centers of all time?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And it's hard to say because it's like he ain't done much like that in comparison to those other guys. It's just he's so skilled. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it comes down to. He's just so skilled as a player.
He's very awkward looking, but he is skilled. Yes, that's for
mean,
damn sure.
I would second that awkwardness and raise you a wow. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Doug.
I would say what Jokic is doing now is probably what Arvydas Sabonis would have done if he would have came into the NBA when he was younger.
That's a fair.
Only difference is Arvydas Sabonis was a way shooter and a more efficient shooter than Jokic is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good comparison. That's a very good callback. Who is he? Who is above him? When it comes to centers, who's above him? Who's below him?
I still personally, this is my personal thing. I still put Shaq above him. I still put man, I didn't really see too many things like that, like legends. I definitely saw Shaq, but I didn't see Bill Russell. I didn't see Wilt. So I can't really say their games other than watching. And even when I watch, I feel like Jokic to cook their ass because of how the pace of the game was back then. Like overweight Shaq probably have an actual hard time with him too. But in shape Shaq will probably fucking guard him like Dwight Howard was guarding him. So it's a conundrum, bro. That's kind of what I kind of banked it off of.
What
Because
about Kareem?
Shaq where he was, I didn't get to see Kareem. I'm not old enough to see Kareem. So again, same with the highlights. Kareem is probably yeah, he needs to be above him because just decorated. He didn't lose the game in college. Come to the league, won rings.
Well, not just that. If any other center, with the exception of Nate Thurman, because at the only center that gave him fits, other than Nate Thurman, nobody is blocking the skyhook because nobody could block the skyhook, just like nobody could block Dirk's jumper. I mean, I would love to see how he would have matched up against Hakeem Olajuwon, because to me, Hakeem Olajuwon has the best feet work out of any center I've ever seen. That I would have paid to see Jokic and Hakeem go mano a mano in the paint for sure.
Damn. So Kay, you have Jokic over Wilt and Russell.
Well, I think because, like I said, the pace of game they had back then, and that's the only reason the pace of game. They played slower back then. But to Doug's point, I want to ask you this: would you consider Tim Duncan a part of that because he won his last 2 rings as a center? Let me, Josh, too, because you first point in time in your life. I don't really know how to feel.
Ask it one more time.
I said, would you consider Tim Duncan because he won his last 2 rings as a center?
Did you say Tim Duncan? Right?
Yes, Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan. Ooh. No, I wouldn't put him over Duncan.
When they won in 2007 and when they won in 2014, he was playing the 5. Yes, he was.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, what I was saying was I said, would you consider Tim Duncan because he was a center for his last 2 rings?
Correct.
Yeah,
In
I
07
would
and
say
14,
Tim Duncan's
yes,
better.
that is correct.
I would say Tim Duncan was just, that dude was just all around.
The big big fundamental.
Absolutely.
So you would consider him in that?
I would maybe go.
Because he was a 4 majority of his career.
Right.
Correct.
Like, would give him, all things considered, he's more looked at as a power forward than he is a center.
Okay. So that,
but
that being said, then yeah, that's pretty much the only couple guys.
But if you're going pure center, I would probably go.
Why you think? Thank you, Doug. Because that was the person I forgot. The dream. Thank you, Doug.
I would probably go.
Can't forget about the dream and that footwork.
Yeah, I'd probably go Kareem. I'd go Wilt. I'd go Shaq. Then I'd probably go Russell, then Jokic. Because I try to put it into perspective of could Wilt had been be effective in this day and age? I do believe so, yes. Now, is he putting up, 100 points and, averaging 50 points and stuff like that? I don't know what the statistics would be. I do know that he would be effective. Could Bill Russell have been effective? I think so, yes. Shaq, we already know he was probably, widely looked at as the most dominant force to ever hit the hardwood. That's why I put him above at that point. But Jokic, again, he's a skilled player. If he does win another championship, maybe even a couple more actually, and not just that, but does it in a really short period of time, that's when you start going, all right, you're going to have to probably give him his due as maybe a top 5, top 3. But I think he's hanging out just outside of the top 5 right now. Matt Six, thoughts on Jokic?
If he wins his second, he's in the conversation.
Oh.
No, I like Jokic. I like Jokic. He's a good player. If I had to do top 5, it'd be Shaq. It'd be Kareem, Hakeem. I'm gonna go Manu Bowl.
Damn.
No, I'm just messing with y'all.
Good old Manute Bowl. Yes, sir. One of the funniest dudes, though. He was a comedian for sure.
Yeah.
Now,
I wouldn't like Jokic is good skill wise, but I wouldn't. I mean, compared to like some of the other great centers, I wouldn't definitely put him in like top 5 just yet.
We got to do a little bit more, but he's flirting with it. He's flirting with that status at the rate that he's going.
Yeah.
So, Kay, how are you feeling about Miami against Boston right now?
Honestly, I like our chances.
Even down 3-1.
Yeah, because Jason Tatum out here playing around hurt himself. That's an omen. Y'all playing around, you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot. And guess where you're at?
Well, not to mention, Porzingis will not be playing in Game 5. Also, he's out with a calf injury.
Yeah,
and the Heat
on Sunday.
The Heat, Jaime Jaquez Jr. is not going to be playing. He's also out for Game 5.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal.
That's a big
I like.
loss.
Yeah. And he fits the team so damn well. On draft night, when they draft him, like, oh shit, he is gonna fit right into Heat culture.
Yeah, Captain
and he is
Jack.
not disappointing.
That's Captain Jack.
He said Captain Jack.
We got Captain Jack on our River City Tigers team. Shout out to Caesar. They look exactly the same, bro. They look exactly the same. Long hair, all that. They look exactly the same. Weirdly enough, both Spanish.
So you're still in high confidence of them right now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not low confidence to zeros. I mean, we had a lot of issues. I feel like we need a big, and they got 4. So we were already fighting an uphill battle with not really having big. We were running small ball. If we would have played Boston in the second round, we probably would have got them. This is the same scenario I had. I think it was like last season because we went to the finals last season. So yeah, that's what I was saying. Like if we catch Boston second round, it'd be good. And it's the exact same thing, but we caught them first round. Caught Philly, would have knocked off Philly. We would have caught like anybody else, would have beat them. But we caught Boston. It's pun intended. It's our kryptonite.
green and everything. You can never really count the Heat out. I mean, they've proven time and time again. Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler. So you can never really count the team out. So there's down 3-1 against a really good Boston Celtics team. I don't know, but I mean, I don't have the highest confidence like Kay does, but I'm definitely not gonna count the team out, by
Spo's
any
gonna go.
means.
I'm sorry, I wanted to add on to that. Spo's gonna go down in the same breath as far as great coaches like Greg Popovich. Look at his resume so far.
Well,
Spoelstra?
I mean, he went from a he went from quality control video room guy to where he is now. He has definitely paid his dues for sure.
It's
I mean, heck, I would have loved for Popovich to take over the Warriors after Don Nelson left because Pop was on his staff,
yeah, he was never
which a
gonna
lot of
leave San
people don't know
Antonio
that.
though.
Popovich was on Don Nelson's staff in Golden State. Well,
Yeah, but
he ended up going to the best situation for him without question.
He plays baseball, and that's his thing. Calls it, all that stuff. What do you think of baseball so far this season? I gotta ask the generic specific.
I'm not liking the fact that too many pitchers injured early in the season, and it's a lot of UCL injuries, which of course ends up being TJ Tommy John. I think the pitchers are being baby too much because again you're not letting them throw because you're relying so much heavily on bullpens now to where you just want the pitchers to go 5 innings, and it's like, dude, if he's dealing, he has earned that right to leave on his own merit, leave on his own terms. And now see all these tired arms happening towards the pennant races. It's just ridiculous. But I mean, I'm impressed with what the Guardians are doing. Stephen Vogt has done a fantastic job managing the Guardians. The Yankees offense looks revamped. Juan Soto has made a tremendous difference in the Bronx thus far. Ronald Acuna Jr. is still special. The Dodgers are still going to choke in October because that's just what they do. I've really been impressed by the way the Cubs have played so far this year. I'm really impressed by the Guardians. I'm really been impressed by the Orioles, proving that she was not no fluke, but still early. I mean, the good teams will eventually sort themselves out. But I'm not like arms that are, are throwing the most hardest they have ever in this era in baseball. And it's a shame that they're not being able to being used their full potential. But I mean, we will see what happens when September rolls around.
Got you. So I asked the generic questions as the specific question. We touched on it earlier with the pitch clock. How far, with the injuries and stuff like that that's going on, and the outrage and the outcry about the pitch clock, how far or how many years do you think they have it before they get rid of it, or is it here to stay?
I think the pitch clock is not going anywhere. But you have to understand, a lot of these pitchers that are pitching now, they've been using the pitch clock for about 3 or 4 years because it was in the minors for a long time. So they're used to it. It's a lot of these old time veterans that are still pitching that had a hard time getting used to it. So I don't think the pitch clock has much effect. Because obviously they're doing this to try to speed up the game. And I mean, games are now averaging almost 2 hours and 45 minutes a game now. You're not getting the long, dragging 3-hour games that you used to get back in the day before. Thing that is continuing issue is horrible umpiring. I don't think we should go to robot umps because it's just going to make it even worse. Because I mean, they're just going to go. If you bring in robot umpires, they're going to go off the dang box of the strike zone, and there's going to be a whole lot of mishap and a whole lot of arguments and a whole bunch of problems. But I'm still trying to understand why in the hell Angel Hernandez still has a job in Major League Baseball. I don't know why he is still umpiring. For the life of me, I can't understand why this guy is still having a job. He's horrible. But hey, what do I know? I just be a guest on a podcast and host my own podcast with Mizzle. So I know nothing. But I mean, the pitch clock really hasn't been a negative effect. I mean, most of the pitchers like it. It's not a big issue. So I mean, they might tweak some things, but I mean, it's definitely something that's not going to go anywhere. But just for the record, I will forever hate this rule. I hate the ghost runner rule in extra innings during the regular season. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I'm glad they go back to big boy extra inning rules in the postseason, but the ghost runner rule, I can't stand it. I understand why they do it. I just don't like it.
Got you. But yeah, I know Josh forever hates baseball until they do Barry Bonds correct in the Hall of Fame. So I feel you, bro, and I understand why you kept your silent.
No, I was going like, all right.
Well,
so free Barry Bonds, goddammit.
well, there's a whole lot of people they should put in the Hall of Fame along with Barry Lamar Bonds, and that could be a whole different show, topic, discussion, all of that.
I have a whole idea for it, but Josh don't want to do it. I told him he should do like on Unsolved Mysteries, how they have the intro with the guy in the trench coat walking in the alley.
Oh, Robert Stack, yes sir, the voice of Ultra Magnus.
I'm telling you, the Injustice in Sports History, Josh can really do that. You and Doug can do that, and that'll be fire. Because he's an almanac, and then you got that whole look like the guy from, Unsolved Mysteries.
Although Robert Stack did have education there. That's the only thing.
I'll figure right now the schedule and everything has been hectic. I'm trying to get things back on track and everything here. So that's still that's a pretty damn good idea though. That's a pretty damn good idea. Because it truly is an injustice, to be honest. But just real quick, who do we think NBA wise is going to be represented in the finals? Okay, you said OKC, but who do you think is going to be coming out of the East?
I'm biased. Looking at a 3-1 deficit, I'm gonna say the East is kind of tough equally. Especially with the Milwaukee being injured as way they are. It's tough, bro. That's a mixed bag of chicken over there. I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna get dicey when it's the final. It's gonna be actually really good, and people are really gonna watch. So I don't know. I don't know who to pick. It's like New York's a good team to pick. It's not like I'm sound crazy if I pick New York the way Jalen Bronson is playing and Max is playing. Matter of fact, I didn't even see who won that game out of those. They were in double overtime.
Philly, the Sixers won in overtime. Tyrese Maxey had 47.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. That's a toss-up.
And by the way, Milwaukee is up 111-90 late in the fourth quarter with no Giannis and no Dame. So it is going to be 3-2 going back to Indiana.
So that's a tough one. So it's not really crazy over there because, like I said, they equally suck, but that means they're equally good. So Yeah, I don't know. The East is super tough, but my pick is OKC for the West to represent. But I don't know. I'm a TBA until the next round. I probably have a better pick.
That's 6. Who you got in the finals?
Minnesota and Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Mm,
Interesting.
they're better. Too.
That is very interesting. Oh, we'll see, Matt. Dub, who you got in the finals?
I've picked Denver to repeat all year. I'm not going to go against that. I just think it's going to be too much Murray and Jokic. I think Boston still has enough to get there. I'm gonna say Boston, Denver, but I think Denver beats Boston in 6. Although, if I'm going to be non-analyst, just for storyline purposes, I would love to see the Knicks in the finals just because of the Jalen Brunson story. I've been a huge fan of the man and the way he has played, and just how him, DiVincenzo, and Josh Hart have been having Villanova flashbacks. Would be a great story, and plus, there's no better setting than seeing Madison Square Garden, seeing the Mecca in the finals. It's nothing like it. But if I'm being analytical, Nuggets Celtics, but I have Denver repeating.
Yeah, Denver repeating
Even
is
though I
kind of
love,
hard to go up against.
but I do love the way OKC plays. I really do. SGA is the MVP. There's no discussion. There needs to be no discussion. Just give the man the award now. He's your MVP. Period.
Hey, New York would be dope if they get to the finals because then they would actually clean up the city like they did when the Chinese system.
Madison Square
Yeah, that's
Garden
when
would be on
James
fire.
Harden disappeared. Yeah, it would. Yes, it would.
I was gonna say I would like to see the matchup between Minnesota and the Knicks in the finals. Timberwolves versus Knicks in the finals, I feel like would be fun to watch.
The Latrell Sprewell Bowl.
But if I guess if you do go analytical, I'm gonna call. Yeah, Denver and Boston. That's because Boston's pretty damn good. Boston is pretty damn good. But I'm gonna go with like the fan part of it. Knicks T-Wolves in the finals, and that's how we end another NBA season. That'd be great. Dub, before we take off and anything that you would like to plug in and share before we leave?
Well, Mizzle already kind of plugged it, but there will be the JP Mizzle and Knox cast during the Insomniacs and Sick With It in the Game of the Week time slot at 4 p.m. There might be a Mizzle and Dub show episode tonight talking about what's happened between. Well, he'll be in a better mood because his Sixers won tonight. So Elton John will be playing tonight. Sir Elton John, by the way. We'll also talk about the Stanley Cup playoffs as the Maple Leafs force the Game 6 as they beat Boston in overtime, and the Jets try to fight for their playoff lives against the Avalanche. And just check out the Mizzle Dub Show. Get the All-Pro JAFFOs subscription up. Help them reach that goal of 500. And as always, just appreciate being on the show and talking sports with the JAFFO Army and the JAFFO family.
Appreciate that. Mad Sticks, anything before we go?
Shit, it's always on the go. Nothing. Chilling.
Never
Busy,
tell the
working.
DJ what to play.
Working. That's right. I had a good time. Had a good party the other night, 70s party. Shit was lit. So that was that was probably one of my best one of my best shows I've done. So happy about that. So it was fun.
It looked like it was a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Anything you'd like to plug, sir?
Yeah, if you guys are in the Bay Area, San Jose preferably, this Saturday the River City Tigers have a game against the California Buckeyes in San Jose. Damn, I forgot what time that game is. I don't remember what time the game is, but it's the afternoon game, so probably 1, 3, 5, or 6.
I just want to know: are you finally free? Can you put the pads back on and go out and crack somebody now?
No,
Or are you still in prison?
I'm in full recovery mode. Like,
Okay.
so yeah, my whole hashtag I've been using is Polk King coming for 2025.
Got it. Okay.
So yeah, I've been recovering, doing all kind of processes and just healing my body because my goal is to get more than 20 sacks next season. Because that was my record.
Beware.
Yeah.
Beware.
It kind of pissed me off. So me pissed off is a very, 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 very big problem. So
Hashtag Country K Revenge Tour. Hashtag.
Exactly. It's the last ride and a revenge tour, and I'm still trying to convince Mini Mullet here to come back for next season, so you can actually have a full season off. He's fighting that shit. He'll admit that himself. He fought it the whole goddamn time. So yeah.
What about the canvas clothing and everything like that? What about all that?
Yes, thank you. So today's the last day. I mean, you guys can probably cancel Christmas. It's only like 2 hours and 45 minutes left, but today was the last day of the April sale for $20 everything. Because I started the business on 420, so I did it for a deal because they had a pop up at a cannabis club. So I did everything for $20. So it was like a whole kept it going for the last 10 days. But yeah, pretty much just doing all
Bless you.
different type of paraphernalia, shirts, jackets, stuff like that. Got the whole setup. So yeah, just getting it going. Still learning the process, getting better at it. Real with you. Do tie-dye stuff as well. I featured a couple tie-dye pieces already. So it's honestly, bro, it's super fun. Do anyway, necessity because I'm tall. So you know what I mean? It's hard for me to find stuff. I'm serious, though. It's like, dude, I'll tell you. If I find something,
I believe it. I believe it.
I'm trying to
promise you, I
empty
believe
that
it.
well, man.
The bigger and taller section is where he needs.
I mean, it's not really big because I fit normal fitting clothing. Like my size is fine. It's just the length for the most part.
Did tall tees fit you like regular tees back then?
I mean, well, with the with the style back then, I mean, I was getting the larger sizes as well. I was in high school, so those 4Xs was fitting me big as shit too. Not as big as most, but they were still fitting me big as shit too. So,
all right. So they even had extra length on them at that size. Okay, got it. I never had them. I never had.
I mean, it was a fad, and I mean, why was that's what I say. You out when you by the time you got to high school, that shit was over with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much by then. So it was like everybody in middle school.
Yeah, that's
everybody in middle school had the jabos and the tall tees.
That's exactly when I was in high school.
That's pretty much what it was. And depending on where you came from and what side of the tracks, Cortezes, black Air Force Ones, regular Air Force Ones, just all of those during that time. Yeah, that was all the same thing. Up until about freshman year of high school, and then everything started to kind of change a little bit. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate the hell out of everybody for hanging out with us on this Tuesday evening. We will see you guys once again next week, next Tuesday night. We appreciate Trey Robinson for giving time earlier on in the show, talking a little bit about his time out there on the East Coast with the BIC. Appreciate Mizzle and Dub for getting on the show and hanging out with us, talking all things sports. For myself, for the 610 Beast from the Southeast, Mr. Country K, and the greatest DJ on the entire planet, Mr. DJ Madsticks. We will see you guys again next time. Deuces.